Welcome. This is 95.1 KNBC, Carson City, Mendon, and Gardnerville, your community radio station. And it is time right now for Carson Rural Communities Update. And I am your host, CJ, and we have our co-host, Laura. How are you?
I'm fine, all things considered.
Hey, so can you hear the noise in the background? The beep, beep, beep. Well, we have a power outage out here. It's at least an hour out before it gets restored. And so
we are.
I'm sure it's in several areas because NV Energy said it's a regional
power outage. Yes.
And so when we're done with this video, we're going to turn this into a podcast and upload it anyway. So please be patient. And you know, we have a guest here today.
We do have a guest.
Miss Kelly Clark.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
And you're with the Bee City USA.
That's correct. I'm with Bee City USA number 76. We are the first Bee City in the state of Nevada and the 76th in the nation.
Oh, wow.
We're affiliated with the Xerces Society as a Bee City program. And we're so proud that Nevada is in participating. And there's another Bee City up in Reno and another Bee City campus at Truckee Meadows Community College.
Oh,
but
wow.
Here in Carson City, we were first back in 2018.
Wow. So you've grown a lot.
We haven't grown a lot in terms of the numbers of people, but we have grown in terms of our community involvement. And we've grown recently with some changes in how we're proposing to do projects and how we're looking at doing funding locally.
Okay.
We've been operating with a very small executive committee.
Yeah, so Laura has a little bit of information about what Kelly does.
Right. This is very fascinating. Kelly Clark is a retiree who worked 22 years for state and federal agencies, first at the Nevada Department of Conservation as publications coordinator, then division chief, then federal service as the public affairs specialist for the USDA Rural Development. That's an agency that is dedicated to providing rural loans and grants for business enterprise, water and sewer infrastructure, and home loans, which we all could use, and repair grants for rural residents. As a hobbyist beekeeper, Kelly became involved with Carson City's Bee City USA, number 76, after it formed in 2018 and was approved by the Carson City Board of Supervisors as a citizen committee. You're a member of the Great Basin Beekeepers in Northern Nevada, which sponsored the original Bee City application.
Wow.
And that's a great place to launch our conversation.
Yeah. Yes. One little correction. It was actually Nevada Department of Wildlife. I was the conservation education chief there for 10 years. I probably wrote it up wrong.
Oh, well.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
If that's where the
typos happen.
Power outages and typos won't stop us.
Okay, thanks.
Never stop us.
Yes.
Well, maybe 30 minutes when the battery goes out. So we'll move fast.
We'll move fast, yes. So, I mean, I guess just thinking about it, what is the goal of a Bee City? What?
Yeah, so one of the goals, you know, as we live in our communities, we become aware of what's happening in the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the issues in the environment, among many, is that pollinators are threatened. Mm-hmm. And even across the nation, beekeepers are seeing about a 60% loss of their beehives each year. And that's very concerning. And in other ways, pollinators are also threatened. We have native bumblebees that are threatened here in the state of Nevada. We know that taking care of our environment is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Bees and other pollinators, I'm not going to say it's the canary in the coal mine, because boy, we're way past coal mine status now, aren't we? We've got so many challenges in our environment. But for these pollinators, we are trying to encourage the community to become involved, to develop habitat, pollinator-friendly habitat in their own yard.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have the goal of educating the public about the value and importance of pollinators.
Well, that's great. Well, so let's say now that I know that I'm a resident of a Bee City and I've got my home garden, what would be some of the ways that I could help the pollinators?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Laura, because I know that you're an avid gardener.
Yes.
And I've seen your wildflowers, and you are on the right track. So, one of the ways that we can really help pollinators in our garden is to plant pollinator-friendly plants. And so glad we're on video because right here I'm showing you the pollinator-friendly plant list. This has been developed by Bee City and the Carson City Parks and Recreation.
Wow.
There are a multitude of native pollinator plants that are great in the garden, and they're often quite drought hardy, and they're very positive in the environment for pollinators.
Yeah.
So, for instance, you've probably seen, and one of the things I like to share with people, did you know that bees have a favorite color?
Do they?
They do. They really prefer purple. So you'll often see lavender color flowers like pincushion flower, purple, light purple and dark purple, salvia, there's red salvias, there's purple salvias. Catnip is a wonderful purple.
Oh, yeah.
And
Or even, like clary sage or something.
clary sage is lovely. It's a tall wildflower.
Mhm.
And then my favorite, I always have to cover penstemon.
Oh, yeah.
Penstemon are a wildflower. They come in bright pink, light pink, and also some smaller varieties that are in dark purple and dark blue. And bumblebees love penstemon because they have a tubular opening in their flower. And I've got to say, if you got a little time in the morning and you got your cup of coffee and you want to go out and see what's happening in your garden, watching the bumblebees bumble around in the pink penstemon, Palmer's penstemon, is one of the funnest things. They fall in there, they roll around in the pollen, and then they're ready to go on with their day. But me, I could just stay there all day watching
Oh,
them.
yeah.
So where could someone get that list that you just shared?
So the place to go is to the Bee City website.
Okay.
Okay.
And that is at www.carsonCityGov/Bee City USA. And that will take you to our Bee City website. There's information at the top of the page about Bee City and what we do and our goals. And then at the bottom of the page is where we have the pollinator plant list. One of the things I would be remiss if I didn't mention it, we do have local vendors, Granite Seed, formerly Comstock Seed.
Okay.
They sell native seed down in the Minden, Gardnerville area.
Oh,
Nice.
Greenhouse Garden Center here in the community has been a wonderful supporter. They provided a letter of support when we first applied to be a Bee City. The Greenhouse Project behind the high school is also a wonderful partner, and they have moved into native plants in a big way. They had an entire greenhouse dedicated to growing native plants.
Yeah.
The Nevada Division of Forestry, they're down in Washoe Valley, and also the Walker Basin Conservancy. Now, if you want to take a drive to Smith Valley and see some really amazing native plants, not just perennial flowers, but also shrubs and trees, Walker Basin Conservancy is a great place to go. But I encourage everyone to look at the pollinator plant list. I know I'm talking fast because we have so many interesting things to talk about today.
No, it's great.
But I think it's really important that people understand that we can make a difference in our own little plot of land. Over 3 years, I've seen major changes in my environment, in my front yard. I now have ladybugs that reproduce in the front yard.
Cool?
And we also have
and ladybugs are
they're
beneficial.
a great beneficiary in the environment.
So what is this?
This is a mason bee or native bee hive. And as you can see, it's stacked with little tubes here. This was made by a local man, a craftsman. And I thought it was so sweet that I just had to buy a local model.
Yeah.
But as you can see, these are these are little tubes. They're made of cardboard. They're very smooth
Oh.
inside. And the thing is, many of the pollinators are solitary nesters. So that means they're not like a honeybee that nests in a large group. They're solitary. So they might lay eggs and nest in the ground
Okay.
in little sticks
Mhm.
under the ground
Mhm.
or on top of the ground. And this little mason bee hive kind of represents how important it is to leave materials on the ground in the fall. And so that's one of the things we do recommend
Because they're nesting.
Oh,
as
okay.
for nesting
Okay.
habitat.
Okay.
And one thing to know, many of your plant materials that you already have growing, say daylily, when you cut down your daylily in the fall, they have hollow stems,
Oh,
and they're perfect for making little nests for bumblebees and other pollinators.
Well, that's cool.
So the four things to be aware of, you asked about what people can do. One, provide pollinator-friendly plants,
mhm.
and we do recommend wildflower. Number two, you can provide water in the environment is very important. I have a small bird bath. You put sticks in the bird bath, or you can put sponges so that the insects and pollinators, native bees and all, can land on the water source and not drown in it.
Oh, nice.
And then avoid using pesticides, especially neonicotinoids. These have been found to be a real problem in the bees world. It affects their ability to circumlocate, or whatever you call it, to find their way back to their
Oh.
hive. And so whether it's a nursery seed that has neonicotinoid, or it's used in the process of growing the plants, it's really important to check with your local nurseryman and find out if they're using neonicotinoids anywhere along in the process, because it does distribute to the wax in the hive and can also be a problem long-term in a hive when because baby bees are laid in eggs in the wax, and the wax can then affect their ability to survive.
That makes sense. So
Yes.
neonicotinoids.
That's right.
Did I
No,
say it right?
no neonics.
No
That's right.
neonics.
No
Yeah.
neonics.
Wow,
Wow.
that's
That
amazing.
is awesome.
So-
So is there a phone number that you share with anyone,
Or
or a website?
it's
that
the
you
website.
prefer?
Our website is the one that I already shared.
Okay.
Mhm.
But if you wanted to email us, and we would love to have you join us, you can email us at bcity USA76@gmail.com.
There you
Okay.
go.
And we're also very excited because we are a new project under the Carson City Parks and Recreation Foundation.
Isn't that cool?
Oh, that is cool.
It's very exciting, and we're having to step up our game big time.
Now,
Wow.
that I guess under that new project, what are some of your projects that you'll be doing?
Well, we are working right now on a community-wide pollinator garden.
Ooh.
We're going to be setting the date for that, but the goal is to provide and guide and pay for pollinator gardens in city parks here in Carson City.
That's
That's
so
cool.
awesome.
So we're now working on one pollinator garden, and we're also working on a monarch butterfly garden, which I
Oh.
think is a wonderful way for the community to be involved,
Mhm.
to come out on a planting day, learn about how to do the planting, and
Mhm.
also learn about pollinators.
It'd be a great
um,
thing for a family. Can you
Yes,
imagine?
it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And the kids really enjoy learning about bees. I've just got to say, in this community, we were just at the Pollinator Palooza at the State Museum, and outreach and education is really key in our
Mhm.
community. The children and the families love learning about bees, and I'm so amazed at how smart these kids are.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Oh
know.
my gosh, they come up with the best questions, and so mature and very interested in helping to take care of the environment. So I have a lot of hope that our families and our children the future is going to be brighter.
For
Yeah.
Hey, so what is this little poster you're
Well,
showing?
this poster, this is Bee Friendly Nevada,
Okay.
and this is a poster from our partners in Reno. Bee Friendly Nevada is a program statewide, And with this program, people take the pledge. They pledge that they will be aware of pollinators in their garden. They will not use pesticides. They'll leave water out for pollinators. They'll plant organic, native, and pollinator plants. And then they leave the leaves and also the sticks, as I described, to increase the soil fertility. And if you have a lawn, you mow less frequently to allow flowers to bloom.
Oh.
But you also can reduce the amount of lawn you have, because lawn is not a great way to help the environment or to help pollinators. So
No.
so you take we have these signs available,
Okay.
and usually at our events, and you can, and it's supported and sponsored by Help to Save the Bees Foundation.
Yeah. And then this cute
And
little
you've
thing.
got a bee puppet.
This is a bee puppet. This is a domestic honeybee puppet. And as you can see, she's very cute. She is anatomically correct. Her name is Bella.
Bella.
Bella
And
the bee.
Bella has 6 legs. And this is one of our props in our educational program.
Hmm.
When we're working with children, we love to share Bella the bee, and we talk about bees, and we explain to the children how the beehive works and how the worker bees work in the world. And we also have a really fun game for them.
Oh.
They get to dive down into a flower full of cheese balls, and Bella the bee swims around in the cheese balls. And when she comes out, she's all covered with orange,
With the pollen.
With the pollen.
covered
yes.
with pollen.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
the children's eyes just get wide open.
Oh.
And then they dive down into the second flower, and we explain that that's when the magic happens, because that's when the pollen
Gets
gets distributed from one flower to the next, and then a seed or a fruit is made possible.
Nice.
And they will come back multiple times to use Bella, play with Bella the bee, and ask questions about Bella the bee, and it's just really fun.
That's
I guess I kindergartners are some of my favorite age children, and it's really a hoot to play with kids.
Yeah.
With
no, that makes sense, and that's so good that you are, guiding people with fun and with love, because I think sometimes people get a little afraid about bees, and particularly, a word like a swarm can feel like, there's a swarm of bees. What actually is a swarm, and if somebody had it, how should they respond to that?
So I'll try not to get too technical, but a swarm is when a hive is so healthy and has such a strong population that the worker bees and the queen and the nurse bees can see that there's not enough room in that hive and they need to move elsewhere. It's like if you lived in an apartment in New York City and you got too many people in there,
Yeah.
you need to move.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the queen will flee the existing hive, but not before the worker bees and the nurse bees have treated some of the growing baby bees with royal jelly, so that a new queen is already on the way and
Mm.
growing.
That's right.
And so when you see a swarm, and I'll just tell a little story. I just I got a swarm in April. When you see a swarm, they're very calm. They're looking for a new place to set up their home.
That's great.
And oftentimes they'll be in a clump. The swarm I got was in a pine tree.
Oh.
Thanks to my dear friend Mary Birch. Thank you, Mary. Hope you're out there watching. And I call this the moon pine swarm because it was a full moon and they were hanging off of a big branch of a pine
Wow.
tree.
Yeah.
And Mary Birch, very brave husband. Now they were in bee suits. They dressed in their bee suits.
Okay.
He got in a ladder and he cut this limb off the tree, and bonk, when it came down, they had a bucket and they caught the swarm.
Great.
Now
that's
that's what swarm control is. And I will say that Great Basin Beekeepers here in Carson City, Nevada, has a group of beekeepers that will come out and they will collect swarms. The gentleman's name who's the head of the bee club is Mike.
Okay.
And if you have a question, you need to know how to contact Mike, you can email us at bcityusa76@gmail.com, and we'll send you
Okay.
Mike's phone number,
Great.
and he has a list of beekeepers.
Yeah.
Beekeepers, it's really important to protect those swarms.
Oh,
Mhm.
definitely.
It's a legacy.
Yep.
I mean, around this community, we have some of the best solid bees. They are fundamentally set to survive in this environment,
Mhm.
and we want to protect them. We don't want to report them to a pest exterminator, because then that they will be killed.
That-
Unless it's an extreme situation, we really
Right.
recommend that you contact Great Basin beekeepers.
That's great. And I bet they're so happy because like they know beekeepers that want that, jump start.
Oh yeah, and they are ready to go.
So I have another question for you. I'm
Okay.
holding it in my hand. What happens when you get stung? Talk about this.
Well, most beekeepers will probably tell you it's not that big a deal to be stung by a honeybee. The beekeeper who mentored me, he was an older gentleman. He had arthritis,
Oh.
and he said it helped with his arthritis.
Interesting.
And he would work his hives barehanded. Now, me,
You're not there yet.
I'm not quite there, but I will tell you that this product, it's called Sting Ease. It comes in a bright yellow bottle with a green cap. It has like a mentholated material in it, and when you get stung by a bee, the most important thing is to scrape the stinger out.
That's
And
right.
when you scrape the stinger, you want to try and remove the whole thing,
Yeah.
because at the base of the stinger is where a little pocket of venom is. If you can get that out with the venom, you're going to have saved yourself a lot of agony.
No.
Maybe that's why I don't think bee stings are that bad. Now, wasp stings are something else.
They are.
They will itch for 3 days. All things considered, I take a Benadryl if I get stung, and I use Stingies, and it takes care of my problem.
And I think what I remember when our community garden had a beehive, they gave all of us guidance as to how not to get stung, or just best practices. One of the things was don't go out near the beehive wearing an excessive amount of perfume.
Yes,
They want
Yeah.
it.
that's for sure.
Yeah. They seem to not like fuzzy clothing for some reason, or maybe they did like it, but then it's like, this isn't a flower, and they, get angry at you. And never stand directly in front of the hive. That was the other guidance they told us. Don't get in the way of their little airport.
That's exactly right, Laura. And then don't wear black. Lighter colors, white colors.
Okay.
White is much better. But yes, you've got it absolutely right. You avoid the fly zone when you're working a beehive. That could be a whole nother radio program, work in the beehive. But yes, try to stay out of the direct flight of the bees.
Yeah, they're awful cute. Now, I don't want to stop this conversation because it's absolutely fine, and we can keep going. But we are mindful of, usually we're a half an hour show, and
Yes.
did you want to capture a few of the announcements we had, or do we want
I
to?
also wanted to ask Kelly, what kind of events are you having for
Yes.
Bee City USA that people can attend? Are they coming up anytime soon?
Well, we will have some pollinator garden plantings, but we're not releasing those dates yet.
Okay.
We're still creating the budgets for those, and then getting all the
sure.
plants organized and things.
But you
And
let us know.
actually, I hate to tell you, but you just missed the Pollinator Palooza.
And that's so much fun.
And it was a
'Cause
very fun event at
you-
the State Museum
you-
on June 13th.
You get the kids doing the waggle dance,
Yes.
and
And we have the pollinator parade, and everyone dresses as their favorite pollinator. And I just have to compliment Mayor Bagwell, because she has been a stalwart supporter of Bee City. She was on the Board of Supervisors when our original Bee City was submitted as an application. And since she became mayor, she has just been phenomenal at supporting and encouraging bee-friendly and Bee City activities.
That's so good.
So she leads our parade, and that's an annual event. We will be working closely with the community. We want to expand and involve you more. We know that there are many ways that families could participate. Recreation and education are really important in our town, and so we
That's
want to
good.
find ways to expand. And if you can donate to the Foundation for Carson City Parks and Recreation, we actually have a sub project. We are a sub. We have a program within their project, and you can donate directly to B City at that at the website.
Right.
Go to Friends of Carson City Parks and Recreation, and then when you get to the donor page, go down under Other, and then go to B City. Because what we're doing is we're developing budgets for these projects. Right now, we're looking at a pollinator garden and a monarch butterfly garden. But we know we need to have a street banner for Pollinator Month.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a big fundraising goal.
Yeah.
It'll be about $1,200. We're looking for money for that. And next year, we're looking to grow more. We're just a very small executive committee,
Mhm.
and now we need to build our membership out, and we need to get some more worker bees.
I was just gonna say, that's what you need.
Yeah, worker bees.
Worker bees,
Yes,
yeah.
indeed.
Well,
That is-
Kelly, thank you for coming out here and chatting. And I know we're going to see you again
Yeah.
at another time.
Absolutely.
I
I
would
would
love
love
to
that.
have you back when the dates are announced for those pollinator garden plantings.
Excellent. We would
Yeah.
love to be here.
That's going to be a lot of fun.
And maybe I'll bring Linda Groves. She's our queen bee.
She is.
Ah,
Yes.
a queen bee.
She's
Okay.
a queen bee. She's got an anatomically correct costume,
Oh,
and she's fabulous.
Yes.
that is really cool.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Well, I'm
We
glad
really
you were able to
appreciate
come
you.
out here
Yeah.
and see us.
It was
so.
great to have you. All right.
So what do we got over there?
Okay, we're gonna these are some fun little things. Virginia City's pool is officially open just in time for 4th of July weekend.
Yep.
It opened on the 1st of July. It's up there at Virginia City. They're open daily. Adult swim is 10 to 11, and then general swim is 11 to 6 p.m. So you know where to find it, and bring your towel.
Yes.
All right, and then we're very, very happy to know that the restoration of the CNC Railroad Depot in Dayton
Yes.
is
indeed.
ongoing. Yes, so it's
Dayton
looking good.
Depot.
It's looking
As you recall, I think I told you that it had burnt down before.
yes,
Due to
yes.
arson.
hmm
And so now stuff is coming in and things are happening.
Things are happening, so we got to
Yes.
check that out.
Okay.
Then coming on up back in Virginia City on Thursday, July 9th from 2 at the Piper's Opera House. It's the dementia-friendly Story County kickoff party.
Yep.
So it's going to be a launch of what they're doing. They are hoping you'll RSVP for this party by calling 775-847-0957. And that's going to be a very valuable organization.
Oh,
We'll have to have them on the show
Oh,
sometime.
yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that's good to know. Closer to home here at the Brewery Arts Center, the Levitt Amp Carson City Music Series is in full swing.
Yep.
Next shows, they're still there. Yeah. Good thing that this blackout didn't happen during that, but they've done it before. They've had their fun.
Yeah.
But our next broadcast of that will be on July 11th with Indigenous,
All right.
which is a really great band, a crowd favorite. So listen on air or come on down. These concerts are free and they start at 7 p.m. So lots
That
of
is
fun.
cool.
And finally, maybe not finally, you never know. Oh no, there's lots of good stuff. Fallon Community Market, Friday, July 24th from 12 to 6 and Saturday, July 25th from 9 to 3 p.m. That's happening at their EC Best Elementary School. So, that one's worth checking out. They are looking, if you want to be a vendor, if you want to be a shopper, you want to be a pop-up tent vendor or a food truck, just call them at 775-315-6571. And then speaking of that, calling all crafters, the Lyon County Fair, this I love.
So busy out there.
It's so busy, and I love county fairs. They're looking for entries in a number of categories, including photographers, yard art, knitters, crochet, hobbyists, and quilters. Of course, those homegrown veggies, fruits, and food preservation categories. So for them, you just want to go ahead and visit the website, which they don't give. So I would say you give them a call at 775-309-3720, and Donna will get you sorted on that. So Lyon County Fair. That is, and you got to get those entries in by August 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. So get thinking about it. And now the Sutro Tunnel Harvest Festival. This is something to look forward to in October.
Yeah.
October 10th, Dayton, Nevada. They are currently accepting vendor applications. So you want to go ahead and go to thesutrotunnel.org for more information about that. And that is just a handful of the many great things that are happening in this part of the world.
It's a hopping area.
It is,
It
it's
really
hopping.
is. Lots of activity and fun stuff to do. And of course, we have the 4th of July weekend where people are camping and
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff and enjoying some of the fireworks. Even I
Yeah.
think they're going to be at La
Thank you for reminding me.
And downtown
because
Carson has lots of
we
activities.
do want to thank our underwriters, the
Yes.
Nevada Rural Communities RSVP. They are a nonprofit AmeriCorps program that provides free life-saving support for older adults, veterans, and individuals with disabilities. They are the exclusive underwriter of this show, and they are the power behind the family 4th of July celebration. This year, they invite one and all to their celebration of the 25th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence
Wow.
at their Eagle Valley Golf Course. Dinner, family activities, and a fireworks spectacular, which might be happening. Oh, is that? Nope.
So
Yeah.
that's the battery. The
Yeah,
last,
we're about to.
the last second.
We're about to see some fireworks around here. So go to nsrsvp.org and sign up.
Well, thank
And
you everyone
thank you.
for your patience, and Kelly, thank you again. But pretty soon we're going to go dark.
The show did go on.
All righty. Bye, everybody.